of sweet hot chocolate in this cold weather. Hi everyone, my name is Sydney and today we're going to be talking about Amanda Lovelace's second poetry collection called You Are Your Own Fairytale. And there are 2 books in this series, so I thought I would just make this review about both of them. I've reviewed Amanda's books in the past, so I'll leave those reviews down below if you'd like to check them out. I personally have not really enjoyed Amanda's poetry books. I feel like at times they seem quite childish in the way they're written, or I felt like her poems never really captivated or grabbed me, which is something I look for in poetry, to feel an emotional connection to them. So I'm happy to say that these poems were a step up. She also included illustrations this time, which were beautiful illustrations. I really enjoyed having those in there. And I guess just overall the theme, the concept of her sticking with fairy tales using Cinderella was very fitting. I did quite like the way she structured it, but these books still felt quite average to me. If you haven't read these books, feel free to go read them, come back and we can talk. But for now I'm going to go into the spoilery section. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. So let's talk about the first book, Break Your Glass Slippers. I thought the writing was much better in this book and the overall message was beautiful. How she really emphasized the importance of self-love. So this is something I talked about in my other reviews, that I feel like Amanda would do so well in writing a novel. This collection, in a way, feels as if she was writing a story. In that regard, I did enjoy this collection much more. For example, she writes, "Fairy godmother says, I don't know if anyone has ever told you this, but their lack of love for you does not make you any less lovable." Inside the cramped fitting room, she slips into dress after dress as if she's trying to slip into someone else's life. Much to her dismay, her reflection stays the same. This is just in every way possible so much better. I loved this. Every night when she's finally alone, she takes a red marker and circles the parts of herself she would most like to see disappear. Her thighs, her stomach, her upper arms, until there's no part of her left untouched. Nothing will ever be enough, she whispers. Fairy godmother says, some days your body will feel like a cage. On those days, lace flowers through the bars. That was beautiful. I really like that there is this sense of lessons, the advice that comes from our elders, and that gives this book a beautiful feel to it. The illustrations are really beautiful in here. Fairy godmother says, despite what you have heard, being alone is not this great tragedy everyone makes it out to be. If nothing else, see it as an opportunity to reintroduce yourself to yourself, to relearn who you are today, to dream up all the people you would like to be for every tomorrow to come. Above all, find the value that lies in becoming your own best friend. And that's just truth. That's beautiful. So I really like the imagery in this poem. Before you turn another page, try your hardest to forget everything you know about the fairy tales you read as a child. In this fairy tale, the princess doesn't recklessly leave behind a glass slipper for the not-so-charming prince. In this fairy tale, the princess takes a hammer to them, shattering both to pieces. This imagery is very powerful here. In a way, it feels like this stripping of innocence, this stripping of your childhood, breaking free into adulthood, breaking free into self-love, and understanding that finally putting yourself first, not needing someone to find you to carry you. So I really love this and thought that this could be awesome if Amanda took this idea and made a fiction novel out of it. At first, self-love can feel like you're trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Next to impossible. I didn't believe I could ever hold that much power in my hands until the day I did. Ever since, I've become a terrifying storm of a girl who will never settle for anything less than what she deserves. That sounds like an epic story that I would want to read. I'm sure Amanda's not going to watch this, but if she does, I wish that she would write or try to write a novel. I feel like it could be awesome. So those are my favorite little poems, I guess, from this book. They're beautiful, I like them, but again, I would say that nothing wowed me. So this book did feel very average, but so much better than her last collection. So let's talk about the other book, Shine Your Icy Crown. I also felt like this one was quite average, but in regards to comparing the two, I did think that the first one was much better. So this book was really nice. You get this big sister and little sister image, which again, there there is this sense of learning from your elders, having these lessons, learning from mistakes. It makes you think about role models and who do you consider a role model in your life. Big Sister says, I love you more than the moon above us. I love you more than Ursa Minor and Ursa Major combined. I love you more than each and every one of the stars. I love you more than the entire galaxy and all of the galaxies they have yet to discover. You two are a magnificent celestial being. I can't imagine not being in the same sky as you. And I just really love that because the image there is beautiful. And I have said this in the past that Amanda Lovelace has these beautiful images. She can be very descriptive. Her decision to write poetry books, it's as if they fall short because she isn't able to dive deep into her imagery, which I crave from her. Her parents screamed at her more than they ever told her they loved her. Disappointment. Big Sister says, we are not defined by the love our family could or could not give us. We are defined instead by the people we consciously become in spite of them. The kindness we show others, the forgiveness we give to ourselves, the times we speak up instead of choosing to remain silent, and the difficult yet necessary apologies we make. We don't know everyone's living situation. We don't know everyone's family situation. So I thought this line, the people we consciously become in spite of them, was fantastic. I liked this as well. Her depression makes her anxious and her anxiety makes her depressed. It's like this loophole, and how can you get out of that loophole? It's very relatable. So I thought this poem was a bit contradicting in regards to the messages she's been telling us this entire time. As painful as it may be, it is always easier to walk away from the villain than it is to try to convince them of their villainy. A hard pill to swallow. And yes, I understand in some cases you have to just walk away and let them realize the hurt and pain that they carry to fix themselves. But there is power in trying to voice your opinion to someone who is naive, doesn't understand. For them to hear it from you allows them to think about their actions or choices, and they can then make a change in their life. So I did find that quite interesting for her to put that in this book. I really liked this. Find pride in every version of you that has ever existed. They saw you through so much. They are what got you here. And the you that's reading this now will be the reason why future you has gotten to even more incredible places. Every chapter serves you. And the illustration is really beautiful. So I've got one more poem I want to talk about. Embody the heroine you needed when you were a child, but don't forget to embody the heroine you need now too. Nurture all of you. And I love that because there will always be something we have to work through. There will always be a challenge that comes up in our lives, but that's life. Life is made up of waves, and I think it's important to ride them, see the other side of your growth. So again, this book was average. It was good. There were some poems I really liked, but overall these two books, they're not bad. They're actually written very nicely, and the themes there, the messages there are beautiful. The illustrations are beautiful, but it didn't grab me. It didn't wow me. I'm glad that she's getting somewhere, that they are improving, and I'm excited to continue to follow her journey. I really hope that she does a novel somewhere along the line. I have faith in her. I feel like she could write something beautiful, even if it's more targeted towards kids. I feel like she'd be great at it. I don't know why she's not doing it, but I would love to hear what you guys thought about these books, and if you've been following her journey, which one was your favorite? I think out of all of them, Break Your Glass Slippers is probably my favorite. So what's yours? I'll see you guys very soon with some more videos to come, more book reviews. I'll see you soon as usual. Bye.